So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to welcome you all to today's session. It's another Thursday, the 4th of March, 2021. And like you all know, Thursday, or by Thursday, we usher in Together We Thrive, the free webinar series organized by the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, who are the operators and owners of www.fundandenterprise.org. Today, we're being joined by a notable industry specialist, and we will be introducing him in the next couple of minutes. So we will allow another 2 or 3 minutes so that our attendees can all join in, and we can get the show on the road for this week. Thank you very much. I'll be back in the next 120 seconds precisely. So we're back online, and today we have the Together We Thrive free webinar series for the first week in the month of March. March happens to be a glorious month, and we're hoping and praying that all our SMEs will have a stellar month. So I'll just start by sharing my screen so that we can begin the discussions for today. So like we all know, it's the 4th of March, and it's the Together We Thrive webinar series organized by the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, who are the owners and operators of www.fundandenterprise.org. A few house rules. We expect our attendees to use the Q&A chat box or our email, which is support@fundandenterprise, to raise or ask their questions. You're also allowed to raise your hand, and we can admit you to ask your questions directly, and if you want to interact with the speaker for today. We will not be having any live polls at this webinar, but if there's a reason in the course of the presentation we need to prepare any live polls, my colleagues at the back end will be able to pull that up, and we can push it through in the course of the webinar. Our webinar, like you all know, is interactive, so we want and trust that all our attendees will ensure that they share their details freely among themselves. Let's know your name, your business, and your location. It's purely for networking purpose. We encourage collaboration more than competition. Let's try to make social media posts concerning this session and on matters that resonate with you and things that you might hear from our speaker. Please tag the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation and our speaker, Jeffrey Williams Edem. Also, remember to use the hashtag when you prepare your social media post, hashtag Together We Thrive. Our topic today is how to choose ICT tools for your business and other automation tips. Jeffrey Williams is our speaker for today, and he's currently the group head, merchant acquiring at InterSwitch Group. In his current role, Jeffrey continues to focus on driving unique propositions that cater to the involvement of merchant needs. Merchants are more like MSMEs, as we all know, customizing payment flows across selected industry. He also focuses on technology, advancement, and operational efficiencies, while also designing, developing, and growing the InterSwitch merchant acquiring business across Africa. Jeffrey, we welcome you to today's session, and we would like to hear your insight as to how to choose an ICT tool. But to enable you get going, I have on my own tried to put up what an ICT tool means, basically. So from our standpoint, ICT tools means information and communication technology tools that aid communication technologies, including the internet, wireless network, cell phones, computer softwares, middleware, video conferencing, social networking, and other media applications and services, enabling users or MSMEs and businesses to access, retrieve, store, transmit, manipulate information in a digital form. It is a tool that also enables businesses to easily carry on their goods without them necessarily being in the brick and mortar business. So with that in mind, we would like to usher in Jeffrey. Jeffrey, are you still there?
I am. All right. How are you? Good afternoon, everyone. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you can. I'll stop sharing now.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, just trying to share that. All right, just let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now? Okay, I can't hear anyone anymore. Everybody's on mute. I just want somebody to indicate if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen and we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, fantastic. So good afternoon, everyone. And it's a very interesting topic that we're discussing today. And it's quite interesting because it's a very relevant topic that every business today constantly asks. In many forums, we see people asking this, how do I choose the right technology for my business? What part of my business should I automate? What part of my business should I not automate? And how much of a technology should I implement? And what value would that bring to my business? So in the course of the next 1 hour, I'll be talking a bit around some of my knowledge that I have, squeezed all into 1 hour and see how much of it we can cover within that timeline. If there are questions to the session, you can have it dropped on the chat so that we can take it at the end of the session, so that at least I can see how much of it I can cover before the end of the session. All right, so we're going to look at 2 case studies around how technology has impacted our lives today. We're going to look at the business today. What are the needs of businesses today? We're going to look at the value of technology using what I call the CAGE framework that I designed. Then 5 tips on making a decision as to what to take on as a project for technology implementation or automation. And then I'll talk about digital commerce as well. And for businesses who are thinking, I need to move my business to digital commerce, what are the things that you need to know? What solutions are available? And of course, there's a solution that I'll be speaking to. In the course of the session, I will not be marketing or recommending any solution, but I will be talking around how you can take the right kind of decisions and what you should look out for, and how you should prepare your business towards implementing technology or ICT solutions or tools. And then we'll then take the questions. So the first part is the case study I mentioned. The first one is business communication. And if we think back, all of us, how communication used to be many years ago, before technology became advanced. Before, we need to go to the business locations if we want to do business, if we want to buy things, if we want to talk to the business owner, we need to go there. If you are living in Ikorodu and that person is in Bejuleki, you have to go there. The second part is if you want to have a meeting and it's a lot of people, you have to call them one by one to share the same information with people. There is no way to communicate with a group of people instantly at that time. Conversations used to take longer because of the way information is shared. It wasn't very automated in those days. Also, you find that you can only become available to have conversations or meetings within a certain period of the day, where the person can be available maybe 9 to 5 at the shop or the business environment, or available to receive calls that were wired and at the office. There were no cell phones back then. If you needed to share anything or present anything, you need to write a letter. That letter, you will go to the post office, you put it in the post, or you send somebody to get on a bus and go there. This is how things used to be before technology became enhanced. So in summary, you have longer transaction time, you have communication being very expensive. Of course, you have the lack of operational efficiencies to your business because of this mode of communication. Now, today, you can communicate anytime with as many people as possible instantly because of technology. You can document and share your presentation remotely. I mean, look at us today presenting. If I needed to do this presentation in those days, all of you was come to my house or come to a particular location and rent a hall and we'll do that. Now we can do that now because of what technology has presented. You don't need an expensive infrastructure today or an expensive gadget to send an email. You can close transaction without even seeing the product that you are buying or seeing the person that you are talking to. Before, you have to go to location and test and wear and validate and stuff like that. Now your business operations can become faster because you can take decisions much quicker than waiting for a letter to come from Abuja before you can then take a decision. So looking at those benefits now, because of the impact of ICT or technology in businesses today, you have faster transaction speed, you have cheaper business operations, you have more efficient business scenarios, and then of course, business owners are taking better business decisions. Another business case or case study we look at is transaction banking. I'm looking at the ATMs. Now let's go back how we were before, because now we take those things for granted. Before, you must visit a branch to even get access to your money. You will feel a lot of sleeps to get access to your money. You would wait on that queue 4 hours if you have to get access to your money. You can only do transactions within a particular time, banking hours, 8 to 4 or 8 to 5. You have to deal with the cashier, who most times are not even happy to see you walk into the branch. So all of these are challenges that we know in the past. But now, what has that done to our living and business? It means that banking is more expensive because you need to spend more money trying to get access to your money in the first place. It takes longer for you to do the transaction. There are limitations because of the opening time of the branches. And of course, there's a lot of delays from that and the impact it has on the businesses that you run today. Now, let's look at now and what technology has done today. So now you have access to your funds from any branch. You don't even need to go to your actual branch to get access to your money. It takes a lot less time to get cash, unlike before, and then to use that. You don't need to get permission by filling forms to get access to your money anymore. Other bank transactions are now possible within that same ATM that we have today. Now you can do transfer, you can pay your bills, you can recharge, you can do a lot more. You can even open a bank account now on ATMs now. And that just shows how much technology is important when you implement that in your business. Now there are no more time limitation when you can access your funds. You can wake up at 6 o'clock if you feel it's safe and you can have access to your money. So it's less expensive, you spend less time, it's better experience. Of course, you have improved business operations because of access to funds as when you need it. To the companies and businesses who have implemented innovation, like the banks, they have less overhead costs. They have more efficient banking operations, which improves the service that they render to us today, who are their consumers. They have less investment in physical structures because they have more ATMs around now, so they can serve more people. And of course, that all of this grows the business that they have today. All of these are two business cases that I wanted to present first to show you and guide you on how important the technology that we enjoy today. We may be taking it for granted, but there's a lot of improvement that has come from that. Now, let's go from them to us now as business owners. What do we need to do on a daily basis as a business owner? I've tried to put up a few things. I was hoping this would be a bit interactive. So at some points, you might need to turn off your mic and just make a comment or two, just to understand from your business side of things, what you see on a day-to-day. Now, I know for a fact that every business owner is trying to manage staff. When are they resuming? Are they available? These are constant things that we need to track on a day-to-day basis. There is the business operations that you need to manage. There is the orders that are coming in and then fulfilling those orders as well. There's the payment you need to accept. There's the invoice you need to issue. There is the receipts that you need to write. There is the records that you need to keep. There is the inventory you need to manage. There are customers and there are situations that you need to manage. There are business planning and activities you need to schedule, production activities, purchase activities. All of these things are things that you do on a day-to-day. Selling, marketing, these are parts of your day-to-day business. Managing customer complaints, even remembering the customers that you need to call back because an order was not fulfilled. You also have business accounting that you need to manage, your bookkeeping and all of that. Are there more things around your side of the business that you feel is not on this list that you also feel they are important day-to-day things that you manage in your business today? I would like to hear from one or two people that are on the call.
I think this pretty much covers, for most MSMEs from the start to finish. Starting your business, opening your store in the morning to closing, managing your clients, your customers' complaints, billing, collecting your money, going to the bank, tracking who is owing you. What credit facility do you have? What product do you have in stock in terms of your order tracking and fulfillment and what have you? But I think your list is pretty much covers the entire spectrum of what MSMEs need to face.
That was quite exhaustive then. That's fine. Now, all of these things require how much of your time as a business owner or even a business manager? How much of your time does it consume? A lot. If you're having to do all this, by the time you get home, you're tired. Yes. What can you hand over to technology and how much time will that save you? Now, imagine if you don't have to stand by the gate to validate who has come to work, where they are, what they are doing. That releases a lot of time for you to do more productive things. Now, also imagine if you don't have to worry about tracking your orders and ensuring that orders are fulfilled, because you get notifications when orders are being delayed, you get notifications when orders are being done, you get pop-ups to remind you that certain orders needs to be fulfilled. Now, imagine if you need to receive payment and you don't have to be calling the customer, and the customer is able to make that payment, and you just get an alert saying that payment has been made, and just move on to other things that you need to do. Also, imagine if you are running your business as you go along, but all your records are just automatically being stored, and at the end of the day, all the pieces of paper are not available for you to spend another couple of hours trying to sort out. And from the point of orders coming in, to orders being processed, to orders being fulfilled, to orders being paid for, to the customer giving feedback, all of those are automated. Imagine how much time your business can have, and yourself as the owner of the business to do more productive things around growing your business. Now, that's the kind of thoughts that we're trying to pass on in this seminar. Now, more relevant today with the COVID situation, people are saying, you know what, this is the time when technology is more than relevant to your business today. And why is that so? Because businesses are having less customers coming because people are conscious about COVID. So if your business environment is not conducive for me to come in, it doesn't look safe, it doesn't look like you're following protocol, you're going to lose customers. The government is forcing these markets to close and open at a certain time. Malls are not running at the capacity they're meant to run. Now you find people are changing their purchase behavior. They're just buying what they need. They're only coming out when they have to. People are not going to some locations that they would love to. Yes, a few people are now becoming more comfortable and going out, but the size of that market has definitely shrunk, and the size of that bucket has also shrunk as well. Now, if you look at the supply chain as well, it's hampered. Raw materials production, people being available to process order, this has been affected as well. Rising people being absent. You call a business owner today, tomorrow your supply is not available because the man or the woman is at the hospital because of COVID and other illnesses. People not being well because you wear your mask all day, you're having to rub sanitizers every time, everywhere you go to. Other health issues are now coming up as well. People moving from Abuja or the north here, there are travel restrictions. Now we have scarcity of certain items because of travel restrictions or movement restrictions. All of these things are impacting on businesses today. Now, can technology fix these things? Can technology open up access for you? Can technology allow you to still continue to do your business in such a way that even these challenges that you can find on your screen today, you will be able to rise above them and do what you need to do as a business? And these are some of the questions that we'll be looking at as we go into the slides today. I have tried to pull in a bit of information around the value of technology, especially to SMEs today and MSMEs today. One of the things that I've seen people say is that, oh, when I'm in implemented technology or ICT tools, I'm able to expose my brands more. I can talk to my customers more. I'm able to do my accounting better. I can do project management easily, remotely, working with people. There's no cost of running my business now, because some of these things I don't have to have staff there. My security is more improved around my business environment. I have more payment options, so I'm growing my business as it is. Or all the things I need to do around when I launch a new product or services, there's better support for it. And sometimes support can be remote, doesn't have to be on site. You now have people are able to support me remotely now. I don't need to be there. Or I now understand a bit more around my market because I have insights from plugging into a BI or a data analytical tool. My work environment is more flexible. Magnus can be at home, Jeffrey can be in the office, and look at, we're doing meetings now, so I'm able to collaborate much better with people. Now you have improved workplace efficiency. You have being more competitive in my business, because I can project my business in a wider scale using more broader technology like the socials, media technology and stuff like that. And there's better economy of scale in what I can produce, because I don't have to buy everything. I can time share that resource in order to produce what I need. These are all the values that technology brings to us as a business. Now, any business who is not thinking around technology, who is not thinking around automating their businesses, what is obvious in the 21st century is that you're limiting the growth that your business can have. You're limiting the impact that your business can have on the larger scale of things in Nigeria. You're also limiting your brand equity and your ability for your business to grow as it. Now, how can you take advantage of all of this? What kind of decisions can you take in order to onboard some of the solutions that can help you to take this kind of decisions and have this kind of results in your business? So I have this model that I designed and I use, and it's called the cage model. The idea behind it is how can I gain access to reduce costs and become more efficient for growth? So I call it the cage model. And the idea is to build 4 blocks, summarizing all those things I mentioned here earlier and put them into 4 blocks. Being more efficient. What does it mean to be more efficient? It means getting more of your plans done. So I have plans, how can I get more of that done? The idea around cost is cost reduction, using less to execute your plan. So everything's around your plan. So how can I get more done around the plans I have done? How can I use less to achieve my plan? Now, looking at the growth part, it says, how do I multiply my planned output? And for access, what can I connect into as a resource that can allow me to achieve my plan? And usually when people are taking decisions around technology, I summarize that into this model that I've created. I've kind of summarized it in a way that is to present in one slide. So let's go through the C. C is cost. Now, if you collaborate, if you have remote service, if you have shared service, if you are using a cloud service, if you are automating, all of this implementation of technology are helping you to reduce costs. Now, for collaboration, I don't have to have a server in my office to keep documents. I can use Google Drive and Google Documents, document an Excel sheet. Magnus on the other side can edit it. 60 people can work on a particular document from anywhere in the world. They don't have to have a physical office. They don't have to come together. So all the cost of traveling and logistics, you take that away. And that's how you reduce costs in your business. And that's one of the examples I was trying to create there. Now, the same with remote access. We're on a video call today. You are in your house. Some people are in the car, some are in their shop. Some people are in remote locations across the world, but they are here right now. And the cost it would have taken to organize this function is removed. It probably costs you maybe less than 1,000 naira to be on here because of your data costs. to be here. Now you have the shared services as well. There are lots of infrastructures that have been built globally, but the front end allows you to get access to these things, and you don't have to pay. In fact, maybe you don't have to pay for the entire license. Before, you get an ARP for about maybe $5,000, $10,000. Now with $20, $50, you have access to these things, right? You are able to use these services today, and you just get what you want and you move. Now, this is what technology is doing. This is what is available to you today to use. Now let's jump to access. So access is A. Now access is connecting to more resources to achieve the plan. Now ecosystems are available today. Ecosystems that allow suppliers and the demand to come together. For instance, you have the likes of Jumia and Konga and the rest of them. They are even Wakana. They are bringing in people who are supplying value, and they are looking for people who are going to buy it and bringing them into one place. So if you wanted to get access to 1,000 people, as an example, you don't need to go and be looking for them one by one. You can plug into that access and become either a supplier or find this number of suppliers as the one who's having the demand for such service. And the same thing with digital leads today. It generates demand. Today, you have automated solutions that when somebody or when somebody is on Instagram and views your picture, say, see, this person has viewed your picture. And then we now have even automated messages. Somebody sends me a message on WhatsApp. I send somebody a message on WhatsApp. It says, hi, thank you for contacting cake company. This is 20 cakes that you can buy. All of that are simple. And I wasn't asking for that information, but there are lots of solutions today that gives you access to people. Now we have platforms as well, which we've spoken about. Search engines today for knowledge. You have so many online courses, online applications that gives you access to training, free training. You don't even have to pay. That gives you access to free resources that you don't even have to pay. Now you're becoming more knowledgeable because of access to information that you need today. Now, let's talk about growth, which is the G part of it. Now, for G, it is multiplying your planned outputs. Now, everybody wants to increase their market share. Everybody wants to ensure that they go into new markets. Everybody wants to expand their reach. Everybody wants their brand to be strong, to be well known today. Does technology support that today? Quite right, so it does. It definitely does. Now, having access to digitally talk to your customer in an instance, you are becoming more enhanced in your customer relationship management. The applications today that automatically captures the customers that come to buy from you and stores it. And you can know when that customer came the last time, and you can encourage repeat business. You can encourage more loyalty. You can encourage retention. Technology today are helping to do all of that. If you are trying to expand your business from Lagos to Abuja, but you don't have money, you don't have time, you don't have the resources to go and set up business in Abuja, we have e-commerce solutions today that allows you to do market penetration and market expansion at the tip of your hands, with your phone, with your computer, with your tablet, on your bed, anywhere you are today. Now, with digital marketing, you can reach a lot of people. Today, you can go on your social media page or your website and do something and say, do you want to promote this content? And you just pay 1,000 naira. 5,000 people can just see that message in an instant. These are things that were not available before, and they are becoming more available today in our business. And the same with brand equity as well. The more, so one of the brand equity example is what Magnus is doing today, is building the brand equity by partnering with professionals who bring on board their expertise so that people like you on this call can get value. Same happens with when you post videos or feedbacks, which before it was not easy to share without paying big advertising costs. Now all of us can do that instantly and build credibility for our brands. These 4 key values of technology, I term them as cage, allow these 4 things to happen within your business environment. Your business becomes more efficient. You can reduce your costs. You can expand your business through the through using solutions for growth. You can gain access to information as a business manager to do more and build your business as you should. Now, in taking decisions for technology, I wanted to talk about 5 key tips. And this is supposed to be a guiding principle for everyone thinking technology, thinking automation. One is you need to evaluate what your business your business situation is and what your desired result is. I'll give an example in each of them. So you could say a lot of orders are coming in, but we don't have the capacity to take all the orders. That's a typical pain point that we see in some companies today. Now, who are the people affected by this? It could be your cashiers, right? What will it cost us to automate that process so that customers can have more business? What will it cost me to do that? Now, this are some of the things that you find as challenges in your business. And so in taking decisions, you want to evaluate what are those challenges, those needs that your business has. The second point there is you need to discuss your technology goals or plans with your team. What we find people do is that MDs and business owners just take decisions because they're the MDs and they don't involve their IT, business, sales, operations people in their decisions for technology. And so they spend a lot of money, a lot of time bringing in technology that does not address the issues within the company because you didn't ask the people who have been affected in the first place, or you're not fully grounded in understanding the entire workings of their different departments and how that solution would actually solve the problem before you invest in that. Or you actually involve them and they gave you feedback and they went to bed, woke up the next morning and you've purchased the solution. You didn't even do any onboarding or a demo to the staff to ask, okay, out of these 4 or 5 different roles, which one do you think we should take so that they can take a decision? Now, why is this important? It's important because you want their buy-in. If there's no buy-in, you're just wasting money and wasting your time. Eventually, people will not use it, and then you change another solution again, thinking that solution was the problem, but it was actually your approach to implementing that technology. The third point or tip I would like to provide is that you need to have a plan. You cannot just randomly deploy technology. You need to have a plan. You need to research the vendors. You need to demo the solutions. You need to compare the benefits of each of these different solutions to know which one today. So people are saying, oh, today there are a lot of banks in Nigeria. So why are you opening with bank A and not with bank B? Does those kind of decisions have any conversations within your company for you to know the right bank to partner with, as an example? This is the same principle you would have when trying to take a decision. Now, why it's important to do a timeline is because technology requires, gradual deployment. So a project plan that says, okay, in this one, we're going to first do this one first. We'll do maybe acceptance of POS first. Then maybe later we'll now do the online one. Then after we do that, then we will now connect accounting that will now let us know when somebody has paid. Now after we do that one, they will now implement how we can tell the customer that it's time to pay. All of those things require time to implement. And if you gradually onboard your staff on that, you will find that there's more confidence in the solutions that you are deploying and they're able to adopt that faster so that you can scale as you want to. Number 4, you find that you implement in phases as well. I've mentioned that. And then, of course, as you go along, you're testing, you're ensuring that those things that you have done, they are working. Don't just deploy everything, so you can roll back and then know where the failures are as well. And finally, and this is the part that most people, just like number 2 and number 5, are where a lot of people get it wrong, especially in Nigeria, and they fail most times. They don't involve their staff and they don't plan support. How are you going to support the staff? How are you going to support your business? How are you going to support the challenges? How are you going to support your consumers or customers who are using this new tech that you have deployed or this automation that you have put in place? And this is very important. Magnus, I need to grab my laptop charger. I didn't bring my charger. Just give me like 2 seconds and I'll be back.
All right, thank you very much. And while Jeff has just briefly stepped away, what I'll try and do is to try and catch up on by giving a summary of what we've heard over the last 30 to 40 minutes. I mean, like we all know, is together we tried the webinar series, and today we're taking series 13, which is how to choose ICT tools for your business and other automation tips. We've got Jeffrey Adam from InterSwitch, who is taking us in this beautiful presentation today. Jeffrey has shared some couple of business case. He's given us insights into how businesses were done pre the advent of technology, where you have to physically go meet your clients, where you have to physically write letters, where you have to physically do everything, where businesses are built in brick and mortar. And he's also shared a case study of modern trends where most things are done electronically via emails, where your people can come to work. You don't need to check where people are. People can be in remote places. And we've given an instance as to this webinar session we're having this beautiful morning, where people are seated across different locations in Lagos and within Nigeria and all over the world. And Jeff is sitting somewhere in Victoria Island or Lekki or wherever he lives, while I'm seated somewhere on the mainland hosting this session. This is one beautiful advantage that technology brings. So he pretty much drew some salient points as to some of the advantages of technology, which is infrastructure and tools are now a lot more less expensive as it were some 15, 20 years ago. It's a lot more expensive some couple of years back when you need to purchase or procure an infrastructure or an enterprise resource planning tool to power or support your business. Whereas now there are shared options where all you need is you just need an aspect of the ERP function, and it is quoted to you, deployed for your business, and you can begin to manage that particular aspect or use that particular tool to drive your business. One key important thing that came through thus far in Jeff's presentation is the fact that decision making is now a lot more faster. You see scenarios where salespeople in my past history, I've led a couple of salespeople, and I know what it is when you're in a sales meeting and you need to close a deal, and you probably need your manager's approval for you to be able to make an informed decision on your business. Whereas at this moment now, people are able to take quick and informed decisions at the snap of their finger. You're able to ascertain whether the solution or product is available in your clients, depending on what you sell. And from your smartphone, you're able to view the quantity, the location where those products are. You're able to even raise an invoice and write in front of your client. After a beautiful sales demo, you're able to raise and shoot out an invoice, whereas the client can quickly pay you. And in the space of a twinkle of an eye, the sales cycle is completed. From doing the demo to invoicing to payment to money in the bank to raising delivery notes to the goods being dispatched, client receives, and all of those things. Those are the beauty about technology. And we all need each and every of these to be able to support our businesses. Jeff also went further to highlight some salient things about technology, and he mentioned that technology is important, is very important for business, and less more expensive. It saves us a lot of time. It clearly improves the way we manage our business, and it gives us a wider market reach. At this point, I will yield back to Jeff, who I see has come back to the webinar. Jeff, back to you.
Yes, thank you. And I like the fact that you took the time to summarize as well. It's made it helpful for that to happen. So I looked at expanding on the tips as well. That were these tips a little bit more. So I'll just breeze through that real quick. So don't dilly-dally on that. So usually when you are evaluating your business decisions, you are asking yourself, do I want to reduce costs? Am I looking at overall progress of the business? Do I want to improve efficiency or increase productivity? Do I want to grow sales? Do I want to replace a bad or old technology? Do I want to improve service delivery? Why am I trying to implement a technology solution? Why am I trying to automate? These are questions that you can ask yourself as you prepare for it. So what I'll do is I will share my link. Magnus, maybe share my LinkedIn name. I will share this slide on my LinkedIn profile, so people on the call can just go there and then fetch the slide on there. Number two is you need to discuss with the team. I've mentioned that, so you need to give them heads up. You need to get a champion, somebody that would know a lot about the solution and drive that change management that you require when you implement this technology. You need to do a survey internally to just get everybody's contribution in there. You need to look at the different learning style and needs of the people. Who would require something printed, who would require video, who would require physical training. These are things that you need to think about as you consider implementing or automating implementing the technology. You need to look at the pain point of the company, the pain point of the department, the pain point of the staff. So all of these are things that you need to consider before you take your final decisions as well. We talked about the plan. I think the plan here is to be able to make a plan. When do I want to do it? How much do I have to do it? How soon do I want to do it? Where do I start from when I want to do it? All of that are what it means to make a plan. Tip 4 was about test and phase it. If the solution requires 5 features to go live 100%, can you do phase 1, a little part of it, test it, see how it works, see the adoption rate, learn from that, fix all those stuff, then continue to increase in phases. Like I used the example of automating your sales. You might want to first automate how the cashier takes order, then you automate how payment is done, then you automate how invoices are sent, then you automate how receipts are sent, then you automate how records are stored after payment. Then maybe you also automate how customers get notification when orders are being fulfilled and how they give feedback. Now, this is a full automation of your sales process. Now, in order to do that, if you implement all at once, chances are some of them may have issues and you would dump the whole process because of 1 or 2 issues that you have. So take it phase by phase. And finally, we talked about putting the support in place for that. How do I plan to support this staff? How do I plan to fetch a champion and train that champion? Do I need to have internal support or external support? What is the process for supporting customers with the vendor I'm trying to go live with today? How long do I need to get support from the vendor? Do I need to pay for the support, or is it going to come to me free? All of these things are ways in which people today plan for support. And so when you're taking a decision as a business, these are some of the questions you need to consider. Like I mentioned before, number 2 and number 5 are where a lot of companies get it wrong. They don't involve their staff and they don't plan for support. Yeah, right. This is a big, a lot of information, but I will just jump into it just real quick. What can and should be automated? Now, a lot of conversation has happened around automation. So what should we automate within your business? Now, if there are anything within your business, right, that is low value, right, from a business or customer point of view, but requires a lot of money or work to execute it, then you need to automate that. So I'll say that again: low value, high effort, automate it. If there are reputational activities or tasks that you see happening a lot in your business, that not a lot of changes happen, but they are just repeated routine jobs, you need to automate those in your business. Now, if you want to stabilize certain things because somebody is not actually managing it well, and so you can find fluctuations in the way these services are being rendered, right? You can then automate that as well, right? Now, for scalability as well, if you want to deploy a service or a product or a solution in multiple locations, and there's a lot of process that goes into that, and you want to reuse some of these central data that you have, then you need to automate something within your business so that it will be easy for you to scale, right? Let's say, for instance, you need to keep to certain compliance and you need to keep to those things. For instance, they are saying, if anybody wants to come into your business, you must do KYC as an example. Now, if KYC is a standard thing and it's a compliance thing, you can automate that so that nobody within the team would onboard a customer without complying with the compliance requirements from regulator or something. So those are things that you can automate. Decision making as well can be automated. Processes that involve complex but logical decisions making can be automated, right? These are things that you need to look at. Now, predictable input and output are things that come rain, come sun, that's what it will be. So those things are things that you also need to automate. When I post this on my LinkedIn profile, you can have access to this material and read more of that. Right. This is the last part of the presentation so that we keep to the 1 hour. It's 10:54 now, so that we can have room for questioning. I had used this solution for the conversation I want to have on digital commerce. Quite so because this is one of the biggest brands in digital commerce today in Nigeria. The website is business.quickteller.com. It's a business solution, a business platform for MSMEs and SMEs mostly, where they can activate their business and then begin to receive payments without having any technical skills. And I like to emphasize those things. You don't need to have a website. You don't need to have a website. If you want to translate your business today into a digital commerce without a website, this platform allows you to do that. It gives you a page for you to onboard your business. It gives you a page for you to automate your invoicing, automate your recurring billing, automate your payment subscription. It gives you access for you to manage suppliers' payments. You can pay out to suppliers. You can even automate settlements. Now, let me explain that. Let's say I'm in partnership with Magnus, and Magnus and I form a partnership with a supplier, and we agree that the deal is 30-70 or maybe 80-10-10. You can automate the money that goes to the three parties instantly. You don't need to have an accountant to collect the money and then start to share the money at the end of the month. The platform allows you to do that as monies are coming in to your bank account, so that everybody is settled instantly and split. I'm trying to focus on where the automations come in as well. Now, there is also the part where people buy things and you automate the process of delivery. So you buy something from somebody on this platform, maybe your business, your customer comes to buy your business. As part of the transaction flow, the customer can pick a delivery company that will just take that order and take it immediately to the location of the customer. Now, to onboard on this solution, because of the way technology has evolved over time, it's absolutely free. There are no charges to get on board. You type in there, you onboard yourself. If you have a QuickTeller account already, you're already onboarded. Just start onboarding your business with the simple KYC that is required. It just needs, I think, an ID card, a utility bill, and your BVN, and your business is already live to start receiving money online. One interesting thing here is maybe to give to Magnus as part of benefit is that from now till the end of April, all transactions that you do will not be billed. So usually you're supposed to have a 1.5 transaction fee that applies. So anybody who onboards today, maybe they can use Magnus as the referral code or the foundation's information, and they would automatically have free transaction till the end of April. That means that if I'm supposed to charge you 20 Naira for every transaction, you will not have that cost for now. Now, there are other value that you can do on this platform as well. And one interesting thing is people need to take decisions constantly, instantly. Having access to your transaction reports, your dispute reports, your refund reports, you can take decisions. You can know which bank is contributing to more of your business, which card is being used for more of your business, which channel are the customers paying you more from, and you can begin to design your services around that kind of payment preferences. Again, technology is bringing in all this data, chewing it up, and representing it in such a way that you as the business owner can take better decisions as it is now. If someone is owing you money and you say, okay, this market where you won't buy, so you pay me 6 times. So you don't need to be reminding that customer for the money. You can set up a subscription and you can debit that customer's either card with 6 times within the period that they're supposed to pay you. And even that person who is buying from you may not even remember, but that just debits and then things just move smoothly like that for your business. So this is my last slide, Magnus, for today. It's just supposed to be a 1-hour session, just talking about ICT, benefits of automation, and what is the benefit to businesses today, how businesses can automate today, what should you be automating in your business, how to take the right decisions when you want to automate your business as well. And if you're thinking digital commerce, where should you go to? What business is available out there, and what value does that present to your business today? Thanks everybody for listening. Over to you, Magnus.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for your time. If this wasn't a professional session, I probably will be giving you a round of applause. Had it been, because I'm a lecturer in the church, had it been I was taking an announcement in the church, I would have asked all the congregation to please put their hands together for you. So guys, we've all heard it from Jeff. He's actually broken down this topic to the BRS minimum. And if you have followed painstakingly, like I've tried to do myself, you will begin to have answers to those burning questions when you hear what do you need to do, or how do you go about choosing the right tools. I know there are 1 or 2 questions that have popped in, and I see people actually giving answers to some of their own questions which they've raised, because what Jeff has tried to do is to actually break this down and practicalize it. But just for me to be able to help summarize the last part of the session, Jeff highlighted some daily business needs that people, a typical MSME or a typical business owner will go through. And I know someone has asked if this material will be made available to us. Yes, and like we recorded this session, and I trust that Jeff will PDF this and send it through to us so that we can email to all our attendees.
Sure.
And he's also encouraged that he's going to post this on Twitter. So I encourage all our members to please follow Jeff Williams on Twitter.
So that would be, so for Twitter, it would be @HeroXJ. So that's hero like your normal hero, yeah. XJ5 on Twitter. And for LinkedIn, just look for my name, Jeffrey Williams Eden. Articles and more other articles are there for you to pick up.
So this webinar has been recorded. It will be live at close of business today on our YouTube page, which the emails will be pushed out to you. And you can, go back, when you're resting in the evening, or when you're coming back from work, or when you're going through one client to the other, play a recorded version on your car stereo, on your phone, and you can listen and get salient tips. Jeff, brought up a new nomenclature, which is the cage model. And in the cage model, he tried to, highlight, cost, access, growth, and other expanded related information that we needed to be aware of and hear what we need to do to get our business across that line. Technology is the way to go today. COVID-19 has, the only thing I see COVID-19 do has just brought out the fact that no one business, no one individual can survive today as an individual or as a business without the use of technology. Technology is what will get us there. And finally, he shared the 5 tips in making a tech decision. And in those tips, as someone who has led a sales team in the technology industry, I can relate clearly to your second point. Most of the time when I do have clients that are having challenges on the use of the ERP or software solution that was deployed for them, and I'm called to come and do a fire brigade approach, one of the things I find out is that most managing directors or most decision makers in those businesses are quick to buy a solution. Yes, they may engage their staff, do all the other things, but at the point of implementation of the system in the business, they take a back step, which shouldn't be the case. The case has got to be that the business owner or the decision maker has got to be in the forefront from day one, from the point of making the informed decision of getting a digital tool, all the way to the digital tool going live in that business. Otherwise, what you see happen, because employees always want to remain in their comfort zone, those things that they know how to do, the moment you try to change them by bringing a digital tool, they begin to find other avenues. You must understand that human beings are very smart. And the weakest link in any business is that human being that have refused to embrace technology. And people think technology is going to take their job. No, technology is not going to take your job. Technology will only make your job a lot more easier so that you can have adequate time to spend with your family. And you can, at the end of the day, have a good work-life balance. So Jeff has highlighted those 5 tips for us, which entails things like evaluation, discussion, making a plan, implementing, and support. Support is also very important. There's a question someone asked, which is, and maybe Jeff can start there. Can you change? So if you use a software provider A or a digital solution provider A at the point of evaluating and implementing your solution, and somewhere along the line, the relationship goes sour, can you also identify or use another support or another service provider to provide the necessary support for you? And if yes, how do you do this?
Okay, so I mean, this comes into your first part, which is planning. If you had planned already to say what is the worst case scenario, let me just try and jump on that slide again. Yeah. So if you had planned before to say, okay, if you look at question 9, the question 9 there says, what is my business continuity plan if all fails? If also this guy, bad service, I'm in trouble, I have spent money, there needs to be a plan. So usually you have a backup, and the backup is, okay, so there are other service providers that may not be able to provide me the service, but can support the current service that I've purchased, right? It's hard to find because usually people want to support the businesses or the product that they sell, but there are other people who don't mind providing support. I remember when I was with NCR as a brand, there were other ATM brands in the market at the time. And so we started seeing one brand selling more ATMs, but the service cost was expensive, while the other brand was now looking for cheaper parts to support the most sold brand in the market. So what we were now doing was, if you're not going to support me, I will have a second alternative. Let me go and meet them. It's cheaper, and they will service your ATMs if you don't do that. So yes, it is possible, but you need to plan for it. You need to evaluate other vendors, and if their services can support third-party solutions and not theirs. And if you do, have 1 or 2 of those people on the side waiting for when these kind of things fall apart. But ideally, my advice would be, when even picking that, make sure you've looked through all of that so that you don't have to find someone else. The best approach is to get the people who own the solution to support it, because that's better and cheaper for you. They might do it without a cost, and the guys are going to fall back to may charge you.
Definitely. So just my final statement with regards to summarizing the entire presentation is that Jeff has also highlighted some questions that we need to answer ourselves. Basically, which the answers will determine which way or which solution or which aspect of our business or all of our business that needs to be automated. And those questions are along the lines of which activity of our business demands our high effort and attracts a low value proposition. Such an aspect of the business needs to be automated simply or straight away. Other ones are repeated activities, activities that require stability, scalability. Scalability is very important because scalability is what will drive revenue. Because if you're able to automate and scale from one location to another location, then your business is indeed shooting for the stars. Then compliance, and he did give instance about KYC requirements. Obviously, you know, those are checkpoints, box questions. So you can build a simple Google form so that anybody who comes can double click. If you don't fill this form and this form or link does not populate all this information, such a prospect or customer can be onboarded. And, you know, certain types of decision making. I know some decision making may be difficult, but he's rightly pointed out not all decision making needs to be automated, but certain type of decision making. Because if you are able to, if you can't project or estimate the outcome of a particular decision, then quite honestly, why wait to take decision yourself? Why not automate it and let the back end run for that? And finally, he did highlight the tool or the digital tool that QuickTeller has recently launched, which is the business QuickTeller business tool. And we encourage all our SMEs to look this up. And he's offered to the foundation that any one of our SMEs who would go online, onboard themselves, and use this tool between now and end of April. I would always come back to him, I'm Oliver Twist, come back to him to say, can we extend that 1 month and a half or 2 months grace to maybe like 3 months? Because like we all know, we're coming out of a pandemic. We need all the support that we can get to get all businesses up and running. But he's offered that between now and end of April, anyone who used that tool to power or run their business, there will be no fee charges to such individual. So I really want to thank Jeff for painstakingly delivering this topic. It is well delivered. It resonates clearly. There are 1 or 2, 3 questions that are there. There is one from someone here. It says, there is no deniability of the benefits of technology, but how do we navigate through when a larger percentage of your customers, and I dare say your competition, haven't implemented this technology? So how do you navigate when most people have not yet embraced it?
Well, your needs is not everybody's needs. And just because other people have not deployed technology does not mean you shouldn't. I remember a lot of the banks in Nigeria today, when they started to automate, people were building mobile app. When one person started, the other people were like, I beg, how many phones in the market? How many internet? How much internet is? Today, if you don't have a mobile application at a bank, you are nobody. The same with when people were trying to do USSD. Like, I beg, we already have mobile app. What do we need for? But today, look at it. I mean, so there is always a need. As long as you have the need, focus on your business needs and build it. There are a lot of solutions in the market, and you can't be in a hurry to pick it. A lot of the time, if you just search the internet, you'll find similar people who have used some solutions and what they are saying. Social media has a lot of those kind of reviews. You need to filter through the one that is important and the one that is actually right, not somebody just being nasty or funny. But there are also local solutions as well and international solutions to pick from. Most of these international solutions, they are available online. You just register, you can have access to them. Some of them gives you an ability to test them before you even pay for them, so that you know if it's the right solution or not for you to use. So rule 1, don't always look at other people to implement your own technology. What are your needs? The clearer you are on what your business needs are, the easier it is to take a decision. And 2, because the internet is there, remember the point on access, you have access to find information to take better decisions through technology.
Okay, so there's another question here that talks, and I think is directly related to whether the QuickTeller business tool can support them. The question is, what is the e-commerce platform that this individual can use to sell his product or service in other states? You recall that in the course of your presentation, you mentioned something about Abuja. Somebody being in Lagos does not have funding to be able to go into Abuja to sell, that the person can use an e-commerce tool. So the question here is, what tool do you recommend for someone or businesses in Lagos or in other locations to sell in other states? And will the QuickTeller business tool be able to support this?
Yes, it can. It's a digital platform. It allows you to set up your own business online. So if you belong to a group of friends or people, you can just copy the link of that your page with your products and everything inside it, and share it in a WhatsApp group, share it in a social media bio. People can see it and click and see what you are selling, and then they can buy. The logistic company that is integrated to offer services across Nigeria. So you can be in Lagos, we'll pick it up there and take it to Abuja, as long as you can pay for the delivery costs.
Is it only restricted to products? Can service providers make advantage of it?
So for service provider or product base, everything is there. So long as you are able to render value either remotely or on site, the person can pay you. So if, for instance, I have rendered a service to you, maybe you asked me to train like this session, maybe it was paid for. I've done it already, but I'm in Lagos or in Abuja. I'm on my services are on my platform. What I would do, I would generate an invoice. I put your email address, and the invoice comes to you with a payment link. And the moment you click that link, you see the item you are paying for, and you just put your card details or scan with your QR or USSD, and I'll just get notification that that invoice has been settled. If you don't settle the invoice, the platform keeps reminding me that Magnus is owing Jeffrey 100K when the money will show. So as you go through that platform, you get to, there is a channel called Quick Teller Business YouTube channel. It has all the links of short videos of this, and you can learn from that.
Okay. So remember that it's Quick Teller Business YouTube channel. So look up any video you desire to look up in that regard. Then the last question is, as a small business owner, what tool can I use to increase the number of customers that they can prospect? And I dare say, is Quick Teller Business able to assist somebody increase the number of customers he can prospect?
Okay, so that is in the works. That is like lead generation. That's in the works. Yeah. The idea was to build a platform that allows people to come to the storefront when a particular item that any of the people who have onboarded is selling. So let's say we have people who are selling shoes, wig, tie, and somebody goes on and said, I'm looking for a green tie. One of the search that will come out will be your business on that Quick Teller Business that the person can then get access to and then check. That is not deployed yet, but it's part of it. However, a lot of marketing efforts and millions of naira are being used to project this platform. So every business on it today, it's not a marketplace like Jumia. So it's not like all the shops are coming together and anybody can see all the shops when you log on. No. What they can see is what you are projecting as a business owner. So if it's your page you want to project, then you project your page. What InterSwitch is projecting is that platform itself, and the value is a B2B platform. It's not a B2C. So your customers will not come in and see all the businesses, not a marketplace. But when they see your link or they have access to your link, when they come on there, they can buy your products. So it's like a mall. We're giving you a shop in the mall.
Online mall.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So fantastic. So viewers, attendees, and members of MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, you've heard it all. This recorded version of the webinar will be live by close of business today on our YouTube channel as well. We encourage you to go back, take a listen. If there are more questions you have, send it through to the foundation. We will interact with Jeff. Obviously, Jeff, I'm going to be speaking with you in the course of today or tomorrow. I would like to see how our foundation can benefit and possibly generate some referral or customer revenue from the Quick Teller Business facility. But it's something we need to take offline. But with that, we come to the end of the webinar today. Any parting words from you, Jeff?
Well, yes, there are. Technology is the future, guys. Technology is the future. If you want to grow your business, technology is the future. If you want to make your business more efficient, technology is the way to go. If you want to reduce your costs, technology is the way to go. If you want to have access to more information, more resources, and more collaboration with more people, technology is the way to go. So that for me will be my closing remark.
So thank you, viewers, and thank you, Jeff, for coming through to today's session. We've tried to, or we've gone a little above 1 hour. The foundation can be reached on its website, which is www.fundandenterprise.org, or you go online and type MSME Crowdfunding Foundation. It's everywhere. You can see it. We're the only crowdfunding foundation in Nigeria today that supports businesses. Our email address is support@fundandenterprise.org. Fund and Enterprise is spelled FUNDANENTERPRISE.org. And the foundation cell phone number is 234-903-0022-124. We are available on all social media platforms: LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Live. The MSME Crowdfunding Foundation remains the only owner and operator of fundandenterprise.org. My name is Magnus Chigozie Mo. I'm a trustee with the foundation. I would like to encourage you all to stay focused. Go and get a digital tool. If you need any help, if you want to speak to us privately, please contact the foundation. We would work with you. If you want to have a direct interaction with Jeff, we'll be glad to put you in touch with Jeff. Obviously, he's busy with his project, but we'll definitely try and get him available to talk to you, to guide you, because without a digital technology tool, sooner or later, things will be very difficult. Digital technology tool breaks that door for you. It takes you, it makes you scale, it makes you to reach more customers, it enables you to be able to track your business and ensure continuity. I remember a sales pitch I made to someone once. I asked him, do you know the number of people that are owing you today? And the guy says yes. And I said, how? He brings out a booklet, invoice sheet. So he needs to flip through all the invoice. But imagine if he's ill today, or that invoice, all the information on the invoice has gone and becomes illegible. How is he able to track them? But what digital tools does is that every morning when you open your system or you check your phone, you can get a prompt, a pop-up of the list of people that are owing you, broken down to how long it stays, the exact amount, and when last they paid, and whether you should continue to grant credit to these individuals. So with that, I want to encourage everyone to please stay safe, adhere to all COVID-19 protocols. It's real. We keep losing people daily. We wish you all the best, and we hope to see you in the next 2 weeks. Thank you very much for your time, and may God bless you all. Thank you, Jeff.
Bye, everyone.
I'll be in touch with you, Jeff.
Sure, not a problem.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Why is entrepreneurship so challenging in Nigeria? Because entrepreneurs lack support. They lack funding, training, mentorship, network, market, technology, and other necessary support systems. Haruna's kinsmen supported him with portions of land and some money. He is a successful farmer today, making a good living for his family and employees. Chima was set up in business by his uncle after some years of apprenticeship. Bola too has a similar story with her real estate business. You too can support businesses today on fundandenterprise.org. Fundandenterprise.org is Nigeria's first crowdfunding platform for supporting MSMEs with funds to start up or scale up their businesses, training, mentorship, network, market, and technology. You should support businesses today by donating to them on fundandenterprise.org. You can also create your fundraising campaign on fundandenterprise.org if you need funds for your business. Help your business and other businesses achieve their goals today on www.fundandenterprise.org. This way, our people can have a meaningful livelihood and our economy can thrive again.